There's moments in my life where I get really discouraged about my future and my success online, and I don't really know how I continue to just keep pushing through it. I feel like at this point, a lot of people in my position would probably just hang up the hat. They'd understand like, oh, okay, well, I've been doing it for a little over a year, and I'm not seeing like instant success. Maybe it's not for me, or maybe it's like just not gonna work out. Who cares? Just do something else. Um, but for me at least, the thing that I use to continue pushing myself forward through this journey is like, why, like, what else am I gonna do with my life? What other path in my life am I gonna take? Because I don't I don't want to work until I die. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for 40 years. I don't want that. I don't I don't want that life. That life doesn't sound pleasurable to me. I don't want to devote so much of my time on this earth to work, to you know what I mean? I don't want to fucking do that. That doesn't sound like a life worth living to me. And I understand that to achieve a life worth living in my eyes, which is one where I'm able to be financially free, where I'm able to take care of those who I love, to be able to be happy, live a life that I'm not shackled down by other people's schedules and by quotas and you know what I mean? I don't want that. I understand the only real way to achieve that is to excel, you know, to excel at one thing to a degree in which I'm able to make money off of it. For some people, it's sports. For some people, it's art. For me, it's really online video creation and streaming stuff. And frankly, in my eyes, I see it as like literally, what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do with my time than like other than to just continue making my future? I saw a video today talking about, even if you're only posting and you're getting one like or one view or one repost or one follow, that's still one more brick on the entire building you're trying to make. Let's say I'm trying to build a giant wall. I need to get every single individual brick, and however long it takes me to get those bricks doesn't really matter if at the end of the journey I have the wall. I have what I wanted to build built, you know? And I see that like, if I stream and I'm only seeing like one chatter come in, you know, or if I maybe like it'll my Streamlabs will tell me if someone subscribes to my YouTube. Someone subscribes to my YouTube channel while I'm streaming and it shows me that. That's like, I like in real time I see the brick being laid. And that is just so motivational, you know. Actively seeing the the micro steps of success is so important. Being able to acknowledge each inch that you're crawling in order to get to where you want to be is so gratifying. Especially when you are putting a lot of effort into what you're creating. I remember I put a video out the other day, and I'm constantly tweaking the titles, I'm constantly tweaking the thumbnails and seeing which ones will work, which ones don't. And being able to see that work, the work I'm putting in, being able to see that reflect in the subscriber count, in the view count, exponentially growing over time, that to me is proof that what I'm doing is working. You know, I've used the snowball analogy before, but as the snowball goes down the hill, it starts very small, but it gradually picks up more and more and more and more snow until it's finally an avalanche. You know, a lot of people only ever see the avalanche. No one notices, no one acknowledges the small bit of snow, the small trickle down effect that causes the avalanche. No one even sees maybe months to a year's work of time before the avalanche. They only see it in that big moment when all of the eyes are on you, you know? No one really sees or acknowledges or wants to bring that to light. No one wants to show all of the work they've done. They only want the bang. And I feel like without seeing the gradual growth and acknowledging it and being appreciative of it and being just conscious of it and using that to better yourself and better what you're trying to do, whether it be again sports, art, music, whatever it may be. If you aren't knowledgeable of what is gradually picking up your speed, you'll never be able to capitalize on it, which I feel like is the most important part of it all, you know? Being able to capitalize on what is starting to get the ball rolling is how you continue getting it to like continue keeping it rolling until it rolls faster and faster and faster. I know what I'm doing will work out for me because I not only believe in it so hard, but because I'm actively putting in the work and I'm actively seeing the benefits of my labor. You know, I'm actively looking at the comments. I'm looking at the data and I'm seeing an upward trend. You are the only person who will ever get in your way when it comes to your own volition. So many people can tell you what you're doing is never going to work, and who gives a shit? You know, they're not, all they're doing is talking from the sidelines, you know? You're the one on the field. You're the one with the playmaking potential. They're all on the sidelines. Why are you letting someone who's not even on the field tell you you can't score that goal? Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say here is that you have to be your own motivator. You have to be your own like backer, you know. You have to constantly push yourself forward even when everyone is either trying to hold you back or they're just non-existent, you know. You have to constantly do until something works. And that may be hard for a lot of people, and if it is, so be it. Maybe it's just not for you, you know. A lot of people want a lot of things. You know, I wanted to be a professional soccer player. Not going to do that, LOL. It's not for me anymore. But I really feel like this is for me, so I'm putting in the effort to ensure that I can land that spot, you know. Thank you.